Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. You're probably hearing a lot of fans going off right now. It's because it's 85 degrees. I'm hot. I don't like being hot, so I turned the fans on, alright? Don't judge me. But anyways, no, what I wanted to talk on is this content creator, and I'm probably going to make a video version of it too, because, this guy is weird, man. This has to be probably one of the... He's somebody that strongly believes that he's gonna get a wife or girlfriend one day, and I'm like, sir, if it happens, I'm gonna just let you know this right now. She's only in it for the money, okay? She is not in it because she is madly in love with you, unless there is some woman out there that likes a guy controlling her and what she does. But in this day and age, and the thing is like, I might just overall do a 2-for-1 special, just I guess like to any woman out there that kind of has that mindset where you want a guy to control you. I'm gonna talk on that because that's not good. That's not good to have a mindset like that, alright? So, anyways, there's this content creator. Do not remember his name by heart. Don't even want to remember his name by heart. But there's this content creator that's been going viral lately because he's been posting these videos and people have been like going off on him about it. But he's been posting these videos where he's like, oh yeah, if a girl, she's in my house and she's in me and we're in a relationship or we're married, she better be cooking and cleaning and doing everything that I tell her to do and all this other extra stuff. And I'm like, this dude can't be serious. Like, I want to truly believe that he's not being serious and he's just only doing this, I guess, to get attention from people. Because I'm like, that can be a possibility too. Where, like, people will say things and do things like that just to get some publicity going on surrounding themselves. So then there was another video I seen. I don't think it was the same video. I think he did kind of work. So I think he was facing backlash for what he had said. And then he came out in a response. And he still was like standing strongly behind what he was saying. And I'm like, this guy, he has to like understand that living, that's non-existent anymore. There's the only way for that to work is if you get into a relationship or marry a woman that's only in it for the money. And that's the thing where it's like, you got to sit down and think about that. Eventually that woman's going to get tired of that crap and she's going to be like, hey, I want a little bit more respect. And maybe, who knows, maybe he might get tired of living that lifestyle. Because my thing is this, I know people probably ask me, Tyler, like, that's such a good lifestyle, like, why would you have an issue with that? The reason why I have an issue is with that is because that's not a lifestyle I grew into. Here's to overall explain to my, like, you know, my family and stuff. Like, when we all came home as individuals, like, let's fast forward it up to, like, you know, my high school years and stuff. Let's fast forward up to the years where it was like, okay, we all coming home at separate times. You know, we all got our, like, day-to-day lives that we're tending to, alright? So, me being a high schooler, I come home, I'm the first one. Was I the first one home? I think I was. There was at times, though, where it's like, you know, there would be, like, somebody would be home and stuff. Either my dad, sister, or mom, somebody. But anyways, so, usually, I would be the first one to show up, right? I'm not going to sit there and wait for somebody to come home and make me something to eat. If I'm hungry, I'm either eating at school, getting me a snack from school, bringing it home, or I'm eating whatever is in the house, right? Sister comes home. She ain't doing the same thing either. Mom or dad, one of them two, they come home, all right? They're not doing that. They cook their own food. They may cook food for everybody else, but they're going to be cooking their own food, all right? If they are really and truly hungry, and if I'm really and truly hungry, and the thing is that we had that respect for each other where we would ask each other like, hey, you want something to eat? Me, on the other hand, I'm all like, look, I'm only making enough for myself. I'm greedy. I'm not afraid to admit that. But the thing is, the beauty of it is that I'm making my own food. I'm not like, oh, can you only make some food for me and not make no food for anybody else? Like, come on now, really? You only do stuff like that when you're a child. Like, that's the one only time, because it's like, okay, you're brand spanking new to the world. You're not used to cooking. You're not used to ovens and stoves and microwaves and all that stuff. You're a child. So obviously, then most likely you ain't even going to be able to reach up to that stuff if it's in a high place or something. But you only act like that when you're a child. You don't act like that when you're older than me, same age as me, a little younger than me. No. At some point in time, you have to start taking care of yourself. Now, I'm not saying that he's not, but the way that he's carrying on, he comes off as a person that he's had everything handed to him, and now he's grown up into this mindset where he still thinks he needs to keep having things handed to him. And it's like, sir, that's not what life is. That's not what anybody's life is. There's not one woman in this world, okay, besides a gold digger or some weird woman that's into that. Because I'm pretty sure there's, gonna be a story that goes viral one day where a woman is all like, oh yeah, I want a guy to control me. I want him to tell me what to do. There's always like those weird women that come out and say things like that. But eventually they get tired of it. They honestly, they get tired of it. Because here's the thing, and that's why I wanted to lead it into, like the other, half that I wanted to talk on the thing. Well, I mean, this wasn't really a half. I was like, I kind of said everything I need to say about that guy. But I guess, like, to add more to it, to just drag it on and stuff, I personally don't think that guy's going to have a successful relationship. I don't think he's going to have a successful, meaningful relationship or marriage, whatever I don't even think it's going to get to a marriage point. Because I feel like that a woman is going to realize like how he's carrying on like during the relationship phase or even during the talking phase, stuff like that. I feel like that because most likely a lot of people, I don't know who he is. I barely remember what he looks like unless I see him and see the video that he's doing. I'm like, oh, that's that one dude. Okay. But here's the thing. I don't feel like a lot of women are going to overall see that video. But if a woman were to see that video and were to see him, if that's a woman of this day and age, she ain't even gonna talk to dude. If he came up and approached her and was just all like, hey, I want you to be in a relationship, I feel like he would say some like demanding stuff like that too. He'll walk up to a woman and it's like, sir, you can't do that. Like, you can't be demanding like that. Not in this day and age. Just like that woman's gonna call the cops on you. So, but I feel like a woman would just flat out ignore him. But then let's say if a woman didn't know who he was and then they were to get into like, the dating stage and all that and she's getting to know him, I feel like that he's either going to wait until they're in a relationship or until he's comfortable in the dating phase to tell her what he expects when they do eventually, become a couple and things. And that's the thing where it's like, sir, it's going to get to that dating part where she's like, no, like, no, you're carrying on like this. You're expecting me to be a mom to you? No, sir. Like, good day to you. And she's going to go about her business. But, and then if it gets to a marriage, it's like, yeah, that he had to like hide it for some time. And then eventually, yeah, once we got to the marriage thing, then he was all like, oh, now let me, overall like tell her or show her who I am as a person and things. I'm like, that's honestly, I feel like that's like mental catfishing. Like, honestly, because you don't really know who a person is until you really get to sit down and like, talk. Because there's catfishing where it's like, okay, the physical catfishing, but no, that's like mental catfishing. You're not really telling this person what's going on in your mind, so then they're under the impression that you're this dream guy, you're this, this amazing person, and then when they get married to you and stuff, then they really see how you are. That's mental catfishing. That should be a crime, bro. That should honestly be a crime where it should be illegal. It should just be one of those like unwritten rules in life where it's like, you don't do that to a person, like you don't lead a person into this like commitment and then once when they truly see who you are, then they're stuck. That's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. And then of course you already know, like, okay, like they get into so like, yeah, he passes the talking phase, the dating phase, the relationship phase. He done proposed to her. Now they're husband and wife, and now he's all like, oh well, now I want you to cook and clean and do all these other things for me now that we're married and I ain't gotta do it no more. Now I want you to start doing all this stuff for me and stuff. And yeah, honestly, then I feel like that he'll or she'll ask for a divorce, and then he's all like, "Oh well, everything is mine." He was just like, "You ain't taking nothing from me," and then it's just gonna be a big nasty divorce. Like that's not going to be a successful. That's what I honestly think. Dude's not gonna be in a successful relationship. I don't even think he's gonna have a successful talking phase if the way he's carrying on. But anyways, now to overall like talk to the women out there that like that type of stuff. Why? Like, honestly, though, because if it's not, because my thing is this, and I know that there's women out there that do like that, and that's why I'm like, I just want to understand, like, why? Like, here's the thing, I'm not going to say that you don't have no respect for yourself, but then at the same time, it's like, I really want to say that. Because I'm like, how can you allow a guy to tell you what to do? And it's like, fam, this ain't no slavery days. This ain't no days where it's like he has like a signed written paper where he owns you and things. It's like you are a grown adult. My thing is this, it should never lead down to a point in time where a guy is having that much. I need to turn my TV off because I'm like this, feel like it's like a serious moment and stuff, and they showing my wife and kids in the back. It's ironic how they showing my wife and kids, and then I think that's what it was on why I had got this whole like podcast episode, because I was watching my wife and kids and then just start thinking of that situation and stuff. But anyways, but no, like a guy should never have that much control over anybody, especially his woman. I'm saying, like, at the end, and what do I mean by that? I know, like, people, they may take that in, like, a wrong way where I say, like, his woman, but it's like, what I overall mean by that is, like, sir, you have to, and it's like now talking to the guy, it's like you have to be a bodyguard to this woman. You gotta show this woman that it's like, okay, like you're loved, you're cared for, you're appreciated, all these other different things. Like it should never be like where she's putting 80% in a relationship and you only putting like 5%, and then the other percentage is just like missing. Like we don't know where that percent, maybe she has it, maybe he might have it stored in his pocket, but a relationship should never be like that. Like I feel like this is overall kind of like, well, it's like talking on that and then talking to, but then also kind of giving out. So maybe it's a 3-for-1 special. I'm giving out relationship advice and things, but anyways, regardless, but no, it's like a relationship should never be like that. And I know people will ask me like, well, what would I do if I were to meet a woman like that, where she wants to cook and clean and do all these other things for me? And I'm like, have you not seen that movie Coming to America? And did you not see Eddie Murphy's reaction? Like, no, it's like people may think that I'm being funny when I say that, but I'm being dead serious. Like, if you watch the original Coming to America starring Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and who else did they have? They had the dude, the voice guy that played this Darth Vader. I can't think of his name. They had the father from Good Times. Who else was in that movie? It was a solid movie. I actually have a pair of shoes, like based off of that movie and stuff. It's a solid, it's a good movie. But for those, and the movie did come out in the 80s. So like, if you wanting to watch it without like me getting ready, because I'm about to spoil a scene in there and stuff. But like if you want to go watch it, but the movie came out in the 80s, so I don't feel bad at all. It's like you should have seen that movie and stuff. But anyways, so no, in the beginning, so like Eddie Murphy is this like prince, right? And then the dude that played, or it was like the voice of Darth Vader, he's like James, is it James Earl Jones? I think that's that man's name. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. James Earl Jones. So James Earl Jones is Eddie Murphy's father in there, and he's the king. So Eddie Murphy is like, I guess like, yeah, he's getting older. I think it was his birthday or whatever. It was some special occasion. And then I guess like another king and his daughter or something like that, I don't know, but they came over and then they was like, oh yeah, they're gonna be a good couple. Those wasn't the exact words, but overall, like, she walks in, she's this glowing woman that got this super long dress and all that stuff. Seems decent, right? Seems like it's gonna be a good, overall situation. So then Eddie Murphy brings her like to this room, and then he's all like, hey, I don't want you doing all these extra things for me, and he or not anymore, but he was like, if we get married, I don't want you to do all this extra stuff. Just be yourself. What do you like? And then she's like, oh, I like everything that you like. I'm gonna do everything that you want me to do. And she really was like, he told her to hop on one foot, told her to bark like a big dog and stuff. And it was like, it was so weird. And I'm like, fam, I would never ever in life want to be in a relationship like that. That is not a normal relationship. It never, having it where you're being told what to do 24/7, not even that, just like 12 and half of 7 Okay, like, not like just half of the, like, no, there should never be a time in a relationship unless, like, it's for your own good. Like, if it's something to help you because this person cares about you and they truly want the best for you, if it's stuff like that, then it's like, okay, like, let's say if you have, like, a drinking problem or something, then that person tells you, like, hey, you need to stop drinking. That's not a problem, okay? That is not a problem at all. But let's say if, I'm trying to think of something. Let's say if you like, like whether, you're the, the husband or the wife, but let's say if it's like a wife telling the husband what to do, if it's a situation like that, you come home from this long day of work, or let's say if you're somebody like myself, you're a content creator, you record a crap ton of videos, right? And all you just want to do is just have the missus, either come home or she might be already home. She may be a content creator too. I don't know. But at some point in time in the day, she's looking up lawnmowers and you all like, huh, that's weird. Ain't think much of it. Maybe she's doing it for a comedy skit. Let's say she's a content creator and stuff. I'm like, maybe she's doing it for a comedy skit, or maybe she's getting a gift for somebody, And then if it's like because it might be like later on in the day and stuff, so she can't do same day shipping. So let's say if it's like next day shipping because she got like 8 hours to order it, right? So it's like next day shipping. Next day comes by, you see a lawnmower out in front of your house, and you're like, strange. I'm like, all right, let me bring this into the house. She's like, no, I want you to open up that lawnmower. Do you put a lawnmower together, or is it already put together? Okay, let's say if it's a lawnmower, let's just add more work to the situation. It's a lawnmower that you got put together, right? She's like, I want you to put together that lawnmower, and I want you to cut all this grass. And let's say if we're like these like rich content creators, and we got this big giant yard, I'm like, okay, first off, I'm not no lawn guy, so I don't know how to cut. No, just because I played the video game don't mean that I actually know how to cut grass. I don't know one thing about cutting grass, and I'm not trying to mess up because I messed up in the game. And I'm like, my thing is this: once you're messed up in the game, do you honestly think that you're good enough to do it in real life? I mean, sit down and think about it. War games, for an example. The amount of times you have died in a war game, do you think you would be set up for war? Think about that, alright? So I didn't play the lawnmower game. I didn't, like, messed up the grass, then put holes all in the grass and stuff. It don't even look right. It's like all spotty and things. It looks weird. It looks like a man's receding hairline or something. That's what the yard's looking like right now. So, like, you put that trust in me, or if you're expecting, oh, because I'm a man and I should automatically know, I'm like, no, we ain't gonna go down that route, alright? We can call somebody because I know that there's people out there that knows what they're doing, and we can say, hey, we already have a lawnmower here for you, so all you just gotta do is just drive up, show up, and then you good, alright? But if you're expecting me to do it, no, that's not gonna slide. We didn't even have no agreement to it. We didn't even have, like, that ain't even something that I sat down and thought of doing myself. You thought of that for me. That's not something I'm not with. And then I know it's, it's like, I feel like in a situation like that, of course, they're going to be trying to like say like, oh, well, you're the man. You should be doing manly things around the house and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, I am, and I always will, but that's going to be stuff that I agree to. I never agreed. I'm like, and that's where I probably said some stuff. I'm like, you bought it. It's yours. You own it. The Amazon receipt most likely showed up in your email. You can cut that grass, but I'm not cutting no grass. And it probably would have led into an argument. And then overall, I had to post a video saying, hey, me and such broke up because she expected me to cut some grass. So I'm all like, fam, no. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's not me. I'm not just some guy that just randomly just listens to somebody that tells me to cut. Like, it's stuff like that where it's like, don't volunteer me for some stuff or think that, hey, because he's a man, or, or even if it's the other way around where it's a man and telling the woman what to do. It's like, oh, well, you're the wife, you're the mom, you're this, so I want you to do all these wife and mom things and stuff. And I'm like, what are wife and mom things? What are man things? Like, that's the stuff that I want to sit down and ask people those questions. It's like, what do you consider? Because if you get into a relationship with somebody and they're not thinking along those lines, how do you think that relationship is going to work out? Like, honestly, that is honestly what I think with that guy is that he's gonna fall in love with a girl, right? Getting back on this this YouTuber, he's gonna fall in love with a girl. That girl's going to break him down. He is going to be a broken man that doesn't know what to do. He got so many things running through his mind. He don't know whether he's right or wrong. He's gonna overthink the situation like mad crazy, but it's going to be self-inflicted. He brought that stuff on himself, having that mindset. and he don't think that like the world is going to shift in the direction the opposite of what his world is. That's usually how it goes, fam. That's usually how it goes. You either got to put in the work to find a woman like that, all right? But you can't just turn a woman into this like weird, because no, I think there's a movie out there where it's kind of, I think they call it like the Stepford Wives or something like that, but they made like the wives into robots. It was such a weird movie, but there was some like funny scenes in there and stuff. But no, like the dudes was trying to do that, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. Like, you guys, here's the thing, and I know people are gonna probably ask me, what should the relationship be? It should be 50-50, but you guys are putting in 100. So it's like you put in that extra effort. So like, let's say like what an ideal relationship would be, in my opinion. We're both supportive of each other, but we both are doing our own things. You know, if there's something that one should be doing, it's something that we should think of for ourselves. We should be thinking of what we should be doing for ourselves, not what the other person should be doing. So if I decided to order a lawnmower, and the thing is like, I'm gonna be smart about it and order it down the same day, or just go up to Lowe's or Home Depot and get me a lawnmower. But regardless, if I'm all like, you know what, I feel like cutting some grass, I feel like, doing some grass cutting things, and I'm like, and this is where the relationship should be, right? Where it's all like, hey babe, I'm gonna go up to Lowe's real quick, get a lawnmower, and start cutting the grass and things. If she's with it and she's all like, hey, you know what, that's a smart idea, and it's like, I should then, I can get like a little flower garden growing or whatever and do something. I'm like, all right, we going to the same area. That's a solid relationship, bro. Or if it's something else where it's all like, let's say if it's some content creating stuff, where it's all like, hey, I want to be a content creator. Then she's all like, you know what? There's a dope place we could go to get microphones, cameras, and all that stuff. It's called Best Buy. I'm like, I know what Best Buy. I've been there before. I bought video games from that place. I'm like, how you gonna tell me where? But I'm just saying, it's like, it's stuff like that where it's like, okay, like, supportive. Where it's like, and then it's like the other way around, that she comes up with so she's all like, oh, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, okay, like, how can we, do this? What is stay-at-home? Then I'm all like, well, let's watch some movies, pick some things that, or you could pick some things that you could do, or whatever, and things, whatever you want to do. I'm going to support it, but whatever you want, if you need my assistance, if you need my help, I'm like, hey, I'm right here on the sidelines, or I'm just waiting, just call me in, coach. But that's where a relationship should be, where it's like, it's a 50-50 thing, but y'all are putting in 100, all right? So relationship can be like that. I'm like, it's going to be a solid relationship, So I don't see how it can fail. But if it's going to be some stuff where it's like, one's putting in more than the other, and then the other is chilled with putting in less, and then one's upset with putting in so much, it's like that relationship, that somebody's going to get stressed out, and that relationship is going to end, all right? So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. Make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.